my sales time. Gonna bust up the behind. This is my sales time.
Embrace that Squiffy. Welcome to Work the Left Side. We have a True Grit show coming up on the 14th of November. It is Jacob's Ladder at Left Bank in Leeds. So I am joined, as always, by the awesomeness that is Dan. There's no Paul tonight, but we still have Dan. So, dude, you good?
Yeah, all good, mate. Good to see you again. Another show rocks around. Bit of a chaotic opening there. I think we might have caught a little bit of our pre-record dicking around as we kicked into the intro there. But yeah, embrace the Squiffy. It's what you got to do. You know,
mate. That's that. I need to do like a Work the Left Side t-shirt that just says Squiffy.
There'll only be us two that get it, and probably only us two that buy one. But yeah, no, all good, mate. How are you doing?
Yeah, mate, I'm all good. As always, 5x5. In the words of Tim Strange, too blessed to be stressed. Before we start on the Jacob's Ladder thing, I just want to shout out, obviously, I mentioned Paul's not with us tonight. He's working. But I do just want to take a minute to acknowledge the awesomeness that was Thomas last night. You know, we both got a message from Paul, you know, sort of saying, oh, he's been nominated for like a Shine Award, an acknowledgement of awesomeness in Oldham. He'd been nominated, and he only went and got and freaking won it, didn't he? You know, so
yeah,
big up to Thomas, mate. You're the man.
That's
You're awesome. Yes. I mean, I'm obviously Paul and Becca are really crazy proud, but I think, you know, we're like, oh, mate, Thomas, we're so proud. It's just amazing. It's awesome.
Yeah, I've said it before. He's my little apprentice on the merch at the York shows. They're such a great family, and Thomas is such a dude. He's already a nicer person than I am for doing all the stuff he's done for his community. Yeah,
puts me to
going from strength to strength. Yeah, great things happening to good people. You love to see it.
Yes, that's the motto. Love it. So yeah, obviously, shout out Thomas, amazing stuff. But we are here to talk Jacob's Ladder. This is obviously, I know Redemption's kind of like, you know, the mania. We have the Rumble and everything like that. But Jacob's Ladder is always the show every year that I'm always kind of like, I don't want to say it's my favorite show, but it's, you know, it's definitely up there. It always delivers. It always, you know, you get that ladder match in the main event. Well, I presume obviously it's going to be the main event. It's always it's a great show, it's Jacob's Ladder, and you know, this card, these matches, mate, it's just keeping the trend going.
Yeah, it's the third Jacob's Ladder now. It's always a banging match, and it's one of the things that I don't think we've ever mentioned before, but another thing that I really like about True Grit, they always find a way to have at least one show main evented by each title.
Yes,
it's just perfect. Showcase your titles, showcase your champions, showcase your challengers. And what better way to do that in the tag division than have a triple threat ladder match? It's something different. It's not, you know, it'd be so easy to do a sort of Survivor Series style show because that's what WWE do.
Yeah.
And I think it's a credit to British wrestling and the creativity involved in it, not just at True Grit, but anywhere else. We don't see too many of those cropping up at all.
No.
So
no,
yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, they're not trying to replicate that. Obviously, everybody does a Rumble. A Rumble's great. That speaks for itself.
Yeah, but everybody loves a Rumble.
Yeah, but yeah, you're not seeing like, you know, because it'd be easy to cash in. You know, it's word association. People, you know, non-mainstream, non-British wrestling fans know Survivor Series. You know, if you just watch the American stuff, you know what Survivor Series might. It'd be very easy to sell tickets based on that. You know, just try and catch the casual eye. But yeah. You know, like I say, nobody really does it. You know, they don't need to.
No, exactly. And we say it every time. True Grit always put on brilliant cards, but this one is looking particularly exceptional. Some of the matches we've got on here to discuss are unreal. We're recording a little bit early because, the reason we're recording tonight is because of me. I'm off away. Not available on our usual night, so sorry for anybody who really misses Paul, but he will be back for the review show, the wrap-up show. Just looking down, there's never a weak match on the card, but this is like, which one's going to steal the show? Who's going to outdo the other? It's fucking stacked.
Mate, just get a grenade, strap it to my head, because this is mind-blowing. This is just fucking ridiculous. I mean, yeah, in fairness, not to besmirch anyone, we're sort of saying, oh, which match is going to steal the show? You know, I'll put my freaking beanie on it. You know, which one I think is going to steal the show. And that's not to besmirch anybody else. It's just because of the build, you know, and how much. I mean, I don't know. I personally, I think, you know, it might open with this match. So I'm quite happy to start talking about this match straight out the bar.
Okay, yeah. Well, we don't have an official graphic or anything, so it's a bit of a free for all. I've got a feeling you want to talk about Adam Bolt versus Shea Monet.
Yes, I do. Yes. For me, I mean, we've started trying to sort of guess, like, you know, the match layouts now as well, as predicting obviously what the matches are going to be. And for me, I'm just looking at this thinking, normally I may have put this as like the fourth match, you know, to go into the intermission with. But, you know, because the ladder match is going to be in the main event, I think that's going to be Riley Kemper before intermission. So for me, I'm just looking at either this or the women's match, you know, to open the show. If this match opens the show, geez, reps, this is going to be, you know, like they sort of say, if you're not in the main event, the first match is the most important because you're setting the tone. You know, you've got your clear-cut good guy, your clear-cut bad guy. You're educating the fans, you know, who to cheer, who to boo. And you're showing them straight out the gate, you know, this is what to expect. And Adam Bolt versus Shea Monet will absolutely blow the socks off of everyone. You know, be it the first show, the 100th show. This match is just going to be, dude.
Yeah, they're no strangers to each other. As heard on a show, I think it was called Work the Left Side, has interviewed both men. And they're no strangers to each other, former tag partners, faced off singles, I think it's 4 times. Adam's only won once. Shea's won 3 of them across WAW and TNT. Adam Bolt took a particular exception when I pointed that out. He doesn't like facts. Accused me of trying to provoke him, I think, which is not at all. Just calling stuff the way I see it, and facts are facts. You know, even heard a little rumor that he was going to have a particularly gobby celebration if it wins. But
this is, if you missed the Adam Bolt episode, I can't remember if it was said during the recording or afterwards, if it's just me and him talking. But I'll say it on here. I might paraphrase it a little bit because I can't remember it word for word. But yeah, what was said was, if Adam Bolt loses, he will go over and shake Dan's hand. You know.
All right.
But if Adam Bolt wins, he's taking that Pride title and he's going to get straight into Dan's face, and he's just holding the title in Dan's face and probably start laughing. So you're either going to get a handshake or a face full of metal.
In the moment, he'll forget I even exist, I think, because this match, it's no secret to anyone how much we love both wrestlers, Adam and Shea. They are fantastic, and Adam's on an incredible run, over a year now as True Grit Pride champion, the longest reigning champion in the company currently. He's on a tear. Shea's fantastic. It's a unique dynamic. So I mentioned that 1-3 record that Adam has against Shea in singles. But Shea's coming into a different animal in Adam Bolt in True Grit. Left bank is Adam Bolt's house. And as great as Shea is, undoubtedly, I say Shea's one of the best in the UK. A little bit for the rhyme, because let's be fair, Shea's one of the best in Europe. But I don't know. I think I'm setting myself up for a belt in the face here, because I'm actually predicted Adam to take it.
Oh,
there's this rivalry is going to even out at some point, and part of me thinking this is, one, it's home turf for Adam, and 2, I really want to see it get to 3-3 and we end up with a cross promotion best of 7 between Adam Bolt and Shea Monet.
Oh, that is the stuff that dreams are made of. That would just be mate, a wrestling utopia.
The icing on the cake would be, though, I want to see Adam Bolt with his True Grit Pride title and Shea Monet with the TNT. I'm forgetting the name of the belt. Is
it the Adrenaline one?
No,
is it the Adrenaline one? Not the Adrenaline. Ultra X? No,
Ultra X. Yes, Ultra X. Pride title versus Ultra X title. Winner take all. Somewhere. Just wherever, if it gets to 3-3, title versus title.
Oh my god, dude, that would just be that's just obviously massive shout out to TNT as well. You know what they're doing over there, what Adam and Shay doing there. They've got a match. Just quickly, I was talking to them earlier. They've got a show at the end of November. It's Shay Monet versus Scotty Rourke. You know, this is the kind of matches that Shay Monet's having. They're the kind of matches that Adam Bolt's having. It's just you know, if you're over that side, you know, and you follow True Grit and you see what these guys can do over here. If you can get to TNT, you know, that's going to be an amazing match as well. But I digress. You know, we are talking about, Adam even said, you know, he thinks of True Grit as his home turf, you know, rocking it up in Leeds. Like I said, the left bank for me is, you know, every time Adam steps in there, it's like a WrestleMania. You know, I've done the HPK comparisons. You know, he is the show stealer. You know, he is the whole effing show. He delivers everywhere. But I think at left bank, he just notches it up to 11.
Yeah, he does. Left bank brings out the spinal tap in him. It really does. So am I assuming that you're joining me in predicting Adam Bolt will retain?
I don't know. I can't say it, man. I don't know.
You can take a draw.
No, because it's not going to be a draw. Somebody's got to win it. They can't do shenanigans in this match. The shenanigans kind of thing is really, you know, more for the main event with the regime and all those kind of guys. The Pride is just a workers' title. You know, there's no need for shenanigans. It's just quality wrestling back and forth. It's just, I'm so torn.
I've had an idea.
What?
Adam sacked off the first match. Imagine if the second match goes to a draw, like a time limit draw or something like that. And then the third time they do it, Adam Bolt versus Shay Monet is an Iron Man match.
Please, God, please. I need this in my life. Mate, that'd be amazing. The thing is, though,
anyway, I've stopped.
If they stipulated like a time limit, mate, if this match starts and they say, a 20-minute time limit, I'm going to be like, yes, Dad's got it, Dad's caught it. But they never really emphasised the time of matches. It's never really been a thing. I'd love to see it because it's a great, it's a really good way of ending matches. You know, every now and again, just to have that time limit hit and just be like, shit, nobody got it.
I love a time limit. I love a time limit draw or like a TV title. Like NWA did it early days when they came back with Power, 15-minute time limit or set whatever it was. But yeah, anyway, we're digressing again. And you have to make a decision.
Oh man, I am gonna go home turf boy. Adam Bolt. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go. Yeah, I think Adam Bolt's gonna retain. Just because I think so many people are calling. Just because I'm not.
Sorry, yeah, I was going to say it's home turf boy, the Yorkshire version of TNA's Hometown Man.
Yeah, that's the one. But it's just, I think, because obviously a lot of people thought Tony was going to take it from him, then he overcame Tony in the ladder match, So a lot of people are now thinking it's got to be Shay. They're expecting Shay to win. It's, they think it's the obvious result. But I just can't see. Until things start tidying up in the main event a little bit, I don't think Adam needs to drop the belt. I don't think, he needs to keep hold of it because as soon as he does lose that Pride title, for me, man, he's got to be in the main event picture.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially with Adam Bolt's allegiances now potentially split. He's been regime adjacent because of his relationship with Ivy and Brady. Yeah. What's going to happen there if and when Brady comes back, if and when Ivy comes back? What are we going to see with that whole dynamic? And is it going to lead to the main event charge for Adam Bolt? Regardless of if Bolt loses the Pride title, who knows? Adam Bolt, dual champion.
No. They're not to replicate what other people do, but that kind of like an Austin Aries moment of being like, look, I'm cashing in this title. I will sacrifice this title for a shot. That undermines. No, actually, no, scrub that. I don't like that idea because it kind of every belt is equal So you're not going to give up one belt for the next belt. So no, scrub that. I'll retract that comment. That was a very stupid comment.
No, not at all. Not at all. It's an idea. That's all it is. It's just a bit of fancy booking, as we always do. It's heat at the moment. It's as stuff comes to us. So yeah, there's no disrespect meant in there at all. So I get what you were saying. So that's 2 for Adam Bolt. We didn't think ahead and ask Paul his predictions, so we can't put that in. Professional as always. So I'm going to nip over to something a bit different, but something that's going to be a lot of fun. The first sighting of the hottest tag team in British wrestling, Lally, Lana Austin and Holly Barlow against NRG. This is going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait. This is going to be entertainment epitomised. Four cracking wrestlers first and foremost. But yeah, I'm going to jump in again. I can't look past Lally for this one. NRG are great. They're a cracking team. They don't get a lot of look at True Grit. They're always competitive, but they're yet to pick up the first win. And I don't see it happening against just the sheer bond of love and friendship that exists between Lana Austin and Holly Barlow.
Oh, you say that, but obviously, you know, the kind of I know, obviously, if you follow British wrestling, you follow every other promotion. You kind of got to look at each promotion as their own universe. It's like a multiverse kind of thing. You know, they've teamed elsewhere. This is the first time they've teamed in True Grit. You know, they're only teaming because Holly won the match. Lana's been saying nope. So we didn't ask Paul for his predictions, but I know his prediction for this one. You know, he predicts NRG are going to win it because there's going to be communicational issues between Holly and Lana. You know, it's not going to quite gel in the first match. I think Lally as well. You know, I kind of went, you know, on the record on socials, you know, saying I love NRG. Mo and Hamza, amazing human beings. And I'm just kind of a bit like, I want to see them in the main event. You know, I want to see NRG, you know, climbing the ranks. And, you know, they've lost to Wild Dogs. They lost to Wes and Paul. And now I think they're going to obviously lose to Lally as well. And like you said, they're not having much. They lost to Nashboat as well, yeah. So this would be like the 4th loss in a row. So I kind of, I feel a bit bad for NRG. Not bad because obviously, you know, it's great to see them on the show. You know, booking's what's important, you know, they're there. But I just want to see him start to build that momentum. I want to see him, you know, being in the main event. They're a main event tag team for me.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. But, you know, these things can take time, and it's just great to have NRG on the show.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's fair to say spots on the True Grit show are quite prized amongst a lot of wrestlers at the minute, and it speaks volumes to their body of work, their ability that they're on there. You know, win or lose, it's just great to have them. You know, I love seeing them both wherever they come. You know, getting exposure at North as well, right across, you know, the whole northeast, northwest scene. So yeah, more power to NRG. But like you, mate, they ain't beating Lally, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'd say so. We're 2-2 at the minute. Well, 2-2, and we'll classify this as Paul saying NRG. I'm going on record. He can't deny it now. We've seen the messages. He said NRG. He said NRG for this one.
He does have the right to change his mind because he's not committed it to in full yet.
No, it's on camera now, mate. On camera.
I run the predictions. Fuck you. So next up, oh man, okay, our second Jobbing with Nikki sponsored match, and she's pulled out another belter. George Hunter, fresh off facing Nathan Black in an impromptu match in York against someone I've seen wrestle live once but comes in with a massive reputation, young man by the name of Evan Bishop. George Hunter, Evan Bishop, sponsored by Jobbing with Nikki. Go check out Nikki. Like, subscribe, watch the content, do all of that good stuff. Because this, I said on Twitter actually, this is a look at the future of British wrestling. Because these two are, like I said, from what little I've seen live and from reputation, these two are phenomenal. You probably know more than me, mate. So give us a rundown.
Well, obviously, yeah, you know, we've both seen George at True Grit. I have probably a couple of months ago, I started going to UKW. On a Friday, it's a quid in, bosh, 90 minutes of solid wrestling entertainment, because there are now guys like I saw Evan Bishop in a match tonight, and an incredible match. George Hunter's there quite a lot. So yeah, I've been lucky enough to see these guys on a semi-regular basis every Friday, and yeah, you hit the nail on the head. I mean, this is going to be the main event in 12 months, 18 months. These two guys will be main eventing numerous promotions across the country. I was amazed. I put it out. George Hunter, I kind of, because Kamikaze Wrestling are nice enough to tag me and stuff on Twitter, so I kind of see what's going on, and I'll always reshare Kamikaze stuff. And they recently had Liam Slater and George Hunter on their last show down in Birmingham, and to me that spoke volumes. The fact that George is getting bookings outside of the Yorkshire radius already. He was in Wales a few weeks ago.
Wow.
So, George Hunter is quickly becoming a name that everybody's talking about, everybody knows, and it's not sort of just within, the local promotions kind of thing. He's not doing that for, a little while. He's literally just, hitting the ground running. Again, I think if I want to second guess myself, because I always do, but I'm certain it was Matty Carter when I was talking to him. He was talking about training at Pursuit, and even Matty shouted out George, and he was like, he compared him to Kurt Angle, and I was like, what? He goes, mate, the speed that he has picked it up, the only other person I can even compare him to is Kurt Angle. He's hit the ground running. He's been training for about 1 year. It is ridiculous.
That is madness. And I'm pretty sure you are right. I listened to the Matty Carter interview, and I'm with you 90% sure that's what he said.
Yeah.
A year and already on... Yeah, sorry, a year and already on True Grit shows is insane. I know Evan Bishop's been knocking around a little bit longer, formerly known as Evan Knight. Saw him at the last Planet show.
Yeah,
in the I think it was in the main event 4-way. Really impressive. Again, I think these two are going to make magic.
Yes, yeah. I mean, obviously, I've just been sitting there, singing George's praises. That's not in any way, shape, or form to say that Evan isn't just as good. It's just George has kind of exploded a little bit quicker. But Evan is equally as impressive. The dude just gets it. That's like I say, I see him at UKW. He comes out, his mouth never stops. He's just constantly talking. It's like your classic heel. I mean, you think Nathan Black talks a lot, but at least he kind of stays quiet when he's in the ring doing his thing. Evan Bishop, man, just never stops. He's got like a rent-a-gob. He's like, he's got his 60 seconds and his mouth speaks just constantly. And he's always typing, but it's that kind of, you can only do that when you've got the confidence to do what you do in the ring without having to sort of think about it. It's natural. It comes to him. It flows. So while he's doing his thing in the ring, he can concentrate on what he wants to talk about. He can concentrate on antagonizing the fans. That's how good he is in the ring, So yeah, both of these guys, amazing. Evan Bishop is just, I don't know how true this is. I can just remember somebody sort of saying it to me at one point, and I kind of did see Adam and Evan, I think, at a York show, just kind of hanging around. But I think Adam Bolt is, I don't know if Adam Bolt's kind of taken Evan under his wing, or they've done a few training sessions together, or what kind of association it is. But you can kind of sort of see, you're looking at Evan, I can kind of see I know Adam makes it look good, but Evan is starting to make it look very good as well.
That's high praise indeed. But I'm going to go to you first for the prediction on this one, because it's George. A bit of a coin flip for me. Sorry, George.
I think George, because this is his second show.
Yeah. That was a factor for me as well. Also, there's a balance to things, I think, when I try and make predictions between, the good guys and the bad guys, and trying to find that balance. And that might give away some of my predictions for later on. But yeah, I'm with you. George Hunter, like you said, it's his second show after that impressive out in a losing effort against Nathan Black. But yeah, just that's all that separates them, really.
I wouldn't be upset either way.
Wouldn't be surprised to see. Yeah, I was about to say similar.
Yeah. So
good stuff.
I've sort of said that I think the chain match will be the fourth match. So we'll jump into that. It's going to feel weird to talk about Riley Nova and a Kemper match not last, but obviously.
I was going to go for. Yeah, I was going to go for the unsanctioned match next, but we'll go with your logic. Just get that up there. A chain match in your second defence of the True Grit heavyweight title.
Oh,
And a second defence against Kemper. I'm going to play some cards close to my chest a little bit with my opinions on Riley Nova, because there may be another written piece in the works coming out from me. And in fact, I have not long received a message from one James Carr responding to some questions that I'd posed for the leader of the regime. But I'm not going to read those on air because they're going to be part of the article. A bit like the Adam Bolt one, it's going to be looking at the rise of Riley Nova, the act of wrestling regicide of the betrayal of Brady Phillips a couple of shows back, and just sort of speculating what happens from here. You know, alluded to earlier what happens with Ivy when she comes back, what happens with Brady if and when he comes back. We said on the wrap-up show, you know, there's so many permutations of who could join who, enemies become allies, the enemy of the enemy is my friend, and all of that. So yeah, just put a little something together. That'll be coming out. This is going to be brutal. I think that's fair to say. Kemper is going to be in a bad mood and looking to beat the ever-loving piss out of Riley. The thing is, how much are the regime going to be involved? Because the underpants gnomes and the gob are going to be thinking about the tag match, about the ladder match.
Yeah.
Joey Slade's got Serico to worry about. But is the priority keeping the heavyweight title with the regime? Or are they going to obviously try and keep all of them? It all depends on the amount of shenanigans in this match. And with it being a chain match, I think we're going to see a few.
Yeah. I think, that's where the match positioning comes into play as well. Like I said, we know the powers that be are going to be in the main event. That's non-negotiable. But if this match happens after the unsanctioned match, is Joey going to be in any fit state to kind of come out and help? Will Sash be in any fit state? Because he was going to probably get involved in the unsanctioned match. So it kind of depends. Yeah, if Joey and Sash haven't been, jumped on or beaten, cheated out of, before this match, they will come out and help, no doubt. It's just who else comes out, do we get a surprise? Does somebody, is there a new member of the regime? I don't know. But it always kind of, again, I know it's wrestling, suspension of disbelief and everything like that, but I'm always kind of like, when the good guy adds a stipulation in, that benefits the heel. I'm like, mate, what are you doing? Just challenge him in a one-on-one match. Don't do a match stipulation where it's no DQ. He's got mates, unless you're going to rock up with like the Pursuit Boys getting you back or something. I don't know. Just, it makes no sense to me. Don't just, I don't know, he's the good guy, he's the hero. He fears no one. It doesn't matter. Bring on 1 or 20. I am Spartacus. Who cares? But it's always in the back of my head. I'm like, mate, you're not doing yourself any favours here.
But we do get to see Kemper beat the piss out of Riley Nova with chains.
Exactly. So,
and I know your good lady. I know your good lady wouldn't be averse to the prospect of Riley Nova and some chains. So,
mate, I was just about to say that. I was like, as soon as I mentioned, like, I showed her the match graphics, like, ooh, chains. I'm like, babe, seriously? It's like, yes. But yeah.
Billy O'Keefe next.
I can't even, mate, if in 12 months' time, Riley's still champ, Billy's number one contender, Billy versus Riley, chain match, Jamie unconscious on the floor.
Good job it'll be on Triller then to watch it back.
Yeah. Hopefully it's not a York school because it's like falling down the steps like.
Oh god, yeah. This is another thing what I like on True Grit shows. There's a little bit of that variety. A chain match is something a bit different, and yeah, it's that bit of something for everybody. Look at what we've gone through so far. Adam Bolt, Shea Monet, your IC title level, quote unquote workers match. I think we're going to get a lot of quick, fast-paced, high-flying stuff from Hunter and Bishop.
Yeah.
Tag team brilliance, pure entertainment, from Lally and NRG,
Yeah.
and now we've got a chain match. You've got a triple threat ladder match in the main event. I'm going to get caught waxing lyrical about the rest of the card again, but I'm going to ask you first again because I've done two, so you can do two.
Riley.
Where's your money going?
Riley. Again, I've been Kemper from day one. He's my boy, massive advocate. I'll stand on that soapbox. The Godfather is amazing, but it is Riley's time. It makes all the sense in the world. I'm kind of want to see where they go. Kemper's not the guy to take the belt from Riley. That's Vuzik's still kicking around down the road. And just as well, it just makes Riley looks awesome with it. Like sort of say, we talked about it before at Millthorpe, man, on this show when he climbed the steps and he stood there and he's just looking down at the ring. He's just he's a young guy who looks like a champion now, and he's the kind of guy you can just be like, he's still going to be champion 10 years time, 15 years time. It's ridiculous. Yeah.
He's only going to get better. That's the scary thing.
Yeah.
I've gone for Riley as well. Again, it's who I think will win, not who I want to win. I would love to imagine the turmoil in the regime if Kemper wins.
Yeah.
2 shows back in with the heavyweight title in the regime ranks, and it leaves again. But yeah, I can't see that being the outcome. There's going to be some chicanery. There's going to be some shenanigans. I just don't know what it'll be, but I can't wait to find out.
Or does my money's on Brady coming back at the Rumble, but what if Brady comes back and helps Riley retain the belt because Brady wants to be the one to get the belt? It's just
could be.
Yeah, there's so many different possibilities. That's the awesomeness of this at the minute. True Grit is wrestling made for TV. It's stories, it's layers. There's you can't predict might be able to predict a result, but you can't predict how that result is going to come about.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the beauty of it. But yeah, I'm on Riley as well. As I say, I still can't believe I was right in the prediction of him winning it. I'm still in shock over that one. I really pulled that out of my ass at the True Grit games. But yeah, it's. I think we've seen that True Grit don't really do short reigns.
No.
And I love that. There's always a plan. There's always a story. So yeah, let's see where Riley goes. So we'll leave the ladder match to the main event. I think next up we'll go for the last non-title match, the second unsanctioned match that we'll see with a member of the Rebels, Wesley and Serico. It's so good to see him back on the graphics, and to have him back. It will be to have him back in the True Grit ring against the one and only the Joey Footstool Slade. What's that look for?
Go on.
Come on. It's one-on-one retribution for Inserico after Joey betrayed him. Actually, which show was that? Was that Jacob's Ladder last year, or was that earlier this year?
It was earlier this year, wasn't it? Was it Mayhem? It wasn't Mayhem, was it? No, it wasn't Mayhem, was it?
No, I'm just going.
Was it Redemption? Was it Redemption? Was it?
It was. Yes.
Or the one before Redemption, wasn't it? This is where we need.
It was Redemption.
Was it?
I've got it in front of me. Yeah, it was Redemption. Team and Serico versus the regime. Yeah, Joey Slade betraying Wesley and Serico with the chair shot, and that was Wes gone until now. I can't wait to see him back. Feelings about Joey aside, he's still a cracking wrestler. The junior member of the regime. I don't think it's unfair to say. And I love a revenge story. Wes is going to be out for battering Joey. And for one, reckon Wes is going to take him to the woodshed and get the 3. I think this is another one where we have to look at who's about, who's available, if Joey needs any backup. Because, as good as Joey is, as long as he's been around, because he is a young veteran at this point, really. Wes has just got that bit more experience. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Joey get the shit kicked out of him. What about you, bud?
Yeah, like I said, I'd not even thought about that kind of connection. You know, the Joey having betrayed Wes, you know, back at that show. That puts an extra kind of shine on it. That puts another kind of level of brutality. Because, like I said, Wes is just going to be, you know, it's not just going to be any kind of match. It's an unsanctioned match, but you know, he's going to be coming in, you know, all guns are blazing. It's just going to be Sash will obviously be with Joey, I reckon, at ringside if he's back off his jolly days. But it's going to be the shenanigans side. You know, do we see Ace and do we see Nash? You know, I might have a little wander around before the show, see if I see Nash walking around anywhere again. Somebody give that man a ball.
Nash wandering around Leeds.
But yeah, Bladderban. But it's going to be much. I love Jerry, I love Regime, you know, I love Sash kind of thing. But I'm not an idiot. You know, this is Wes. This is Wes' height. This is his return. You know, there's no way he's letting this one slip through his fingers. So yeah, we'll have to obviously go for Wes.
We're going to have to disagree at some point. But my other reason for picking Wes as well is it means that the Regime and the Rebels go 1-1.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's another one I can't wait for. Speaking of which, a rematch from WrestleFest is next up, and a title match that I believe is happening twice in 2 weeks across two different promotions.
Is it happening at
North? Maybe not a title match, certainly. No, so not a title match, a match that's happening twice in two different promotions. Yeah, Alexis Falcon, Natalie Sykes, and we mentioned Natalie as a possible contender in the previous podcast. We're fucking good, aren't we? Really? But yeah, I've seen Alexis and Natalie lock arms before. It's always a good match. Both of these two just know the craft. They've got great chemistry together. It's going to be another banger. It's just a fact, basically.
Yeah. And we'll just mention that about North. Just a quick shout out as well, you know, to Kemper. You know, freaking 2 chain matches in like 2 days. You know, he's got Miles Kamen in the chain match at North as well. I don't know if it's before or after. I think it might be on the Sunday, so after the True Grit one. Kemper said, you know, he's a madman. Yeah. You know, he's tough as nails. You know, as tough as old leather. Fucking two chain matches in 1 weekend. Dude's a sucker for punishment. It's like, what are you doing? But yeah, Alexis, Natalie, awesome to see Natalie back. You know, hyped to see her. I want to see her on a more regular basis if possible. Obviously, you know, depends on this, that, and the other. But she is somebody who, you know, would make the women's division even better. You know, it's good at the minute. It's been a bit sparse this year because I think obviously everything else that's been going on, you know, we've kind of seen a lot of the similar faces repeatedly. But Natalie's, fresh. She's back. You know, it's going to be a great match. She's not the person to beat Alexis. You know, Alexis isn't dropping that belt, you know, unless it's been building up to it. Yeah,
I'm thinking the same. It's good. It's a battle between two great wrestlers, but two good characters as well. We said before about Alexis just embodying the heel and just the nastiness, and how great their entrances and all of that and everything. How everything plays into it all. Natalie's a consummate babyface. So yeah, gelled really well to have a great chemistry. But yeah, Alexis isn't losing that. It's going to need a story. It's going to need like a returning Rio or somebody like that, you know, something of that caliber to build up to. I honestly wouldn't be surprised to see Alexis continue her reign until the True Grit Games next year, and we come full circle. And because the first True Grit Games was I believe for the women's title, the inaugural women's title. So I'd be quite happy for that to happen again. And if you've got 5 challengers by that point, fine for Alexis, then let's have it. Brilliant. Alexis can put on bangers in the meantime. We can all get wound up and be nice and ready for a reign to end.
Yes, exactly. That's the thing. You know, I've got a record. You know, I don't. You know, I like exhibition matches. You know, the great one-off matches. Yeah, they're cool. There's plenty of other stuff going on the show that it's fine. You know, really, I think there's two matches that haven't really got any sort of background to them, which is obviously the sponsored match, which, you know, it's a sponsored match. That's what it does. That's what it's there for. And then this match kind of thing, it's just two people who will have an amazing match, tell a great story in the ring, will be thoroughly entertained. But I want to see something building now for the women's. I want to see, you know, the women's division getting the same attention. You know, I want to see something start to build there. You know, I want to see a few faces, you know, not just two people in a match every show kind of thing. You know, I want to sort of see that. Obviously, we've got Lally around as well, but yeah, I just kind of want to see something starting to build now in the women's division as well.
Yeah, it'd be great. It'd be nice. I would, just on one point though, I'd say that George Hunter, Evan Bishop, at its heart, is to see who the best young prospect in British wrestling is for me. Yeah. You know, if both men are going out there to try and prove that, then that's going to make for a brilliant match. Like you said, there's not much beyond that, but I think every wrestling match has something like that which could be added. And Alexis and Natalie, like I say, it's a rematch. It's taken a few months to get to, but Alexis won the first one. A little bit of shenanigans and chicanery involved. So we'll see if this match against Natalie leads to something else. If there's more shenanigans again, maybe Natalie's duo match with some tighter stipulations.
That's it, man. Yeah, I want, if this is the start of it, by all means, yeah, absolutely fucking go with it. It's going to be amazing. I'd love to see a series of matches between. I said this is the second one. You know, I think obviously Alexa, we've both said Alexa winning this one. That doesn't mean Natalie has to go anywhere, and then we could get Natalie at the next show. You know, obviously, and just build from there, kind of thing. Like I said, have Alexis and Natalie go on a series of matches until Rio is ready to return. You know, until we know what's going on with Zizi. You know, is she going to be? You know, where's she going to be aiming her sights?
Yeah. So yeah, there's good prospects there, and like I said, another banging match on the card. But we're at the main event time now, and this I think will be the first one that we might disagree on. I'm interested to get your thoughts on this because, well, do you know what? It's the main event. You start us off with yours because I'll waffle on too much on these things.
Oh, mate, waffle away. I'm never going to not back the PTB. You know, I just think, you know, them holding the belts it's awesome. That's Franco and Brad, my boys. But, you know, Meatwagon coming back on the scene. Again, I love Meatwagon. Easily, you know, one of the best tag teams in the country. Without Tom McManus, so it's a fresh dynamic. You know, will there be face? You know, do we get good guy Meatwagon now? They're both very likable guys. And then obviously, yeah, you've got Misery Business, you know, the True Grit team from day one. You know, the fans, we all love True Grit. We all love Misery Business. So I am, if it wasn't a Nottingham thing, I might be a little bit torn. But it's PTB, you know, every day of the week. Powers that be will somehow manage, you know, to climb that ladder step by step by step. They'll get the belts. They'll pull them down. They'll stand victorious. But it's going to be an amazing match.
Definitely, yeah. When you've got people, it's going to be a very different ladder match, I think, because there's only really Joe Wade with the history of any high flying in that. Not to say other guys can't, obviously, you know, but Brad Matthews is a real technical wrestler. Franco's a bruiser, he's a ground and pounder. Alan Kay's a wrecking ball, and Meatwagon the Hosses. You know, none of them are renowned for the high flying you might expect from your tradition. You know, from the ladder matches that we've grown accustomed to over the last sort of 25 years. But that just makes for a more fascinating dynamic for me. Yeah. And I think Meatwagon are going to be out for blood as a Misery Business. Or both former tag team. No, Meatwagon have never had the tag. Yeah, they have. Meatwagon lost to Nashville. Yeah. So current champions versus two former champion teams. I can't look past Meatwagon. A newly faced Meatwagon with a point to prove.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to see the Freebird rule in full effect here. I think it's going to be 3-on-2-on-2.
Oh, shit. Well, yeah, no DQ in it, really. So, yeah, why not? You know, Sash can't get involved, it's not. Yeah.
And Sash is on the graphic. Sash is on the graphic.
Yeah.
They're all there, all three of them, which again plays into my thought of who's going to be around to assist Joey, who's is Sash
Help
going to get
Riley.
involved with Riley Nova? Yeah, are we going to see, oh, God help us, are we going to see fucking Sash in all 3 matches?
Yeah.
Oh. This is another reason for me. The first reason was Ivy, but now we have a second reason to have True Grit branded earplugs for if Sash comes out 3 times in a show. So you just don't have to listen to the unmitigated amount of bullshit.
Shocking slander. Libel, whichever one it is.
I've not slagged off Nottingham yet.
Yet I like the way you put yet in there. But yeah, the whole dynamic. I love, again, anybody who knows me, Joe Wade is easily one of my favorite wrestlers in the UK at the moment. It's just I love him in Misery Business. I love him doing his solo stuff at Wrestling in Newcastle when you see him at Planet and stuff like that. Dear God, I hope Alan Kane gets announced as the miserable man just for shits and giggles. It's just going to be just, mate. But then again, I am legitimately, I'm planting my flag. I stand by it. But it's a win-win-win situation. Any 3 of these teams make that belt look good. Any 3 of these teams make that belt credible, and that is key. When you look at a promotion and you see who the champs are, if you saw this title on any of those 3 teams, you'd be like, oh shit, that's awesome.
Yeah, just like Nash Boat before him.
Yep.
Just brilliant tag team lineage, and Crash Boat and every other team. True Grit's got a good, brilliant history of tag division, and this only adds to it, becoming 2-time champions. Because I'm thinking now, I don't think we've had 2-time champions yet in the tag division. I need to triple check that, but I'm sure we haven't had 2-time champions. But I'm not going to go back and do that now because it'd take me far too long and it'd give you more of an editing job.
If anybody does know the answer, put it in the comments for us. But I think you're right. I don't recall anybody being a 2-time tag team champion.
No, I think Meatwagon. But I see Meatwagon being the first ones to do it. We've got a new look Meatwagon. It's much leaner beef this time around, but no less powerful. Yeah. And I just said it about Alexis, and biases aside, if the underpants gnomes and the gob do retain, then I get to be annoyed and hate it for a bit longer, which is always fun, and it makes it even more sweeter when they finally lose. But come on, beef bus.
Well, if they do, I'm just thought about it. Obviously, we're predicting Adam to win, we're predicting Alexis to win, we're predicting Riley to win. PTB retain. That says all 4 heel champions go into a show and retain.
And that's why I'm going Meatwagon.
Meatwagon, yeah.
Because as well, I want to know what happens when somebody who isn't Brady Phillips loses a title for the regime. And it's questions that I'll be putting to James Carr as part of this article.
Yeah.
Is everybody as expendable as Brady Phillips? Because we thought he was untouchable. We thought he was bulletproof. And he wasn't. I thought that was a good line off the top of my dome. But yeah, so we've got one difference between us. We don't know Paul's predictions apart from you say he's going for NRG. I just know this is going to be a banger. This is in a promotion that only does a baseline very good card. This could be exceptional.
Could this be the show of the year? And let's be honest, every show has potentially been the show of the year. But this is November. We've got one more left in York, obviously Festive Forearms, or the Road to the Rumble, whatever they've renamed it. Apologies. But yeah, this is the last show in Left Bank. They're going to want to go out. That's why it's always awesome at Jacob's Ladder as well. It's kind of like, the signing off for the year. This is the farewell to 2025 at Left Bank. We'll see you next year for the Rumble. But this is what we are leaving you with. We are leaving you with these memories, this awesomeness, this action. Yeah.
It's always a party, isn't it? This is Jacob's Ladder with all the madness going on and, with it being a ladder match. It says a lot, though, that for all the talent in this match, they're going to have to go some to beat the last ladder match at Left Bank, which was Adam Bolt versus Tony Wright.
Oh,
Oh, I've got Nick with his hands on his face again, and that's the point where he remembers he forgot to wash his hands after he went to the toilet.
That's what.
Never snip that beanie.
We're good. So that's really disgusting. I apologise. But yeah, like I said, that was the last. Oh crap! Yeah, I not even thought. That was the last ladder match. That was, and that is, that's. Will that be match of the year? Just to quickly sidebar, I just want to pick your brain. Obviously, I was talking to Adam recently about it, kind of thing. And I sort of said, that match has got to be up there. He's going to be looking to top that match against Shea Monet at this show without having the ladder. He's going to. Those two, because Shea Monet is not going to want to have Adam Bolt versus Tony Wright be the match that's remembered this year. He's going to want Adam Bolt versus Shea Monet to be the match, that's remembered this year for that title kind of thing. And Shea's going to go out there and absolutely deliver to outdo that ladder match without a ladder. So, what they are going to do to each other in that ring, just the psychology, just the action, the razzmatazz.
I think Shea quite likes that nickname. I threw that out there on socials as well. But as far as match of the year goes, as we roll into the last two shows of the year, for me the top two are Tony Wright versus Adam Bolt ladder match. But my just personal favourite, no besmirchment to anybody else, just in terms of the style of wrestling I really love, is Vucic versus Luke Jacobs. Just beating the ever-loving piss out of each other for the Hot Tag Foundation Championship. Two big beefy boys battling over Bluey.
Exactly. It's just incredible. It's just awesome.
We'll get to we'll be doing the end of year awards, I imagine, through True Grit. Was it through Work the Left Side last year, and then or did True Grit do their own?
No, True Grit do their own. I don't have any involvement. Like I say, I'm
thought so. It's just with you doing your end of year awards currently. I got confused.
I'm doing mate. Oh, dude, I'm doing the qualifiers at the minute. I'm trying to get 112 wrestlers down to 16. It's just, and again, I've got a record now. I put a list of 112 people on Facebook, and I know there's people missing. It's apologies. I can pretty much say, hand on heart, of that 112, I've pretty much seen every single one of those people either live or I've watched their matches on YouTube. Anybody who's not on that list, I probably haven't watched the match. So it's no besmirchment. I just haven't seen it. So, and that's impressive for me to say. I've seen 112 different wrestlers in action this year.
Yeah.
Like I say, either in person or on YouTube, on the reels that I do and stuff like that. So, yeah. If you didn't make the list, I apologize profusely. It is just a bit of fun. No, don't.
Yeah.
Don't egg man off.
It's a wonderful time and a wonderful problem to have, in that you can watch so much wrestling and still have so much to watch. It's a magnificent. Some people would call it an oversaturation. I'm a glutton. Just look at me. Just give me more and more and more. I'm not going to say feed me more because that's taken by an absolute knobhead. But yeah, hook it to your veins. That's what I mean. But we're digressing. We're digressing a little bit there. So I'll just run down our picks again, going from just a list I've put on my laptop to bottom to top. I've gone for Lally, George Hunter, and Serico, Adam Bolt, Alexis Falcon, Riley Nova, and Meatwagon. Nick has gone for Lally, George Hunter, and Serico. Read that wrong. Adam Bolt, Alexis Falcon, Riley Nova, and the Regime. The powers that be, the Underpants Gnomes, the Nottingham Boys. See, I still didn't slander Nottingham. I'm trying to turn over.
I know. I'm waiting for it. I was kind of like, I was just trying to do this to distract myself. He's got to insult it. He's got to insult it.
That's why I didn't. I knew you were waiting for it, so I didn't do it. But yeah, there we go. It's going to be a brilliant show. If you haven't got a ticket already, I know the seated tickets are running out fast. By the time this comes out, they may have already run out. Who knows? But yeah, get there. And if you can't get there, get to Road to the Rumble in York next month.
Dude, I'm just hyped for it. It's going to be amazing. And yeah, as I sort of said, it's going to be an amazing send off to Left Bank for this year. Obviously, they've announced the dates for all the shows next year as well. So get them in your calendar ready. There was no excuses. I think there is one Sunday show next year as well. So make sure that doesn't trip you up and you don't forget about it. But yeah, dude, like I said, yeah, we'll see you on the 14th of November at Left Bank. Obviously, we don't know what food's going to be there, but I'm sure the food will be awesome. If it's a bit of a Caribbean taste to it again after the success of Millthorpe, that wouldn't surprise me, but it might be a pizza.
Oh. I'll take anything but that food at the last York show, Delice d'Ivoire, West African food. Oh, it was so good.
Just like I said, the fact that they were still serving after the show ended, that's the first time I've ever seen that. People would come out of the show, bless them, they were still there serving away. I was like, damn. So
petition to have Issa as a regular fixture.
Yes, that'd be awesome. That'd be cool. Maybe get 10% discount if you're part of the Patreon or something. That'd be another way to sell the Patreon. Get cheaper food, get Patreon discount. You get to taste this tasty food. But dude, yeah, obviously I'm starting to waffle now because I'm a bit hungry, so I'm going to stop talking before I start just drooling everywhere. But yeah, True Grit, Jacob's Ladder, every match looks awesome. Final question: what match will steal the show?
Adam Bolt, Monet. Got to go with it. I'm, bullshitting aside and having a little snipe at each other. Everybody knows I'm a massive fan of Adam Bolt. Everybody knows I'm a massive fan of Shea. I'm back at again, no besmirch from anybody in the card. I'm a big fan of everybody who steps into the ring, puts the bodies on the line, gives the time and effort to entertain us. But Bolt, Monet, for me, they're going to stun us. They are set to stun.
They will be set to stun, baby. If you know the story to that name,
kick me in the head.
If you know the story behind that, then God bless you. But yeah, obviously, Dan, hit up where people can find you on the socials and let them know what to search for, what to hit.
Yeah, no worries. Dan Griffin 21 on Twitter and Instagram, just waffling on about a load of crap. Whatever I'm watching, wherever I'm going for the wrestling, follow me all on there. Just a random, just foolishness, really, same as on here. If you want to hear more of me talking about stuff, head on over to Unbooking the Territory at UTT Podcast. That show's on a hiatus at the minute, but we've got a massive back catalogue across 2 full seasons and 3 different side projects. I won't go into them now because we're getting close to the hour mark, and I know Nick likes to keep it tight to an hour. And finally, on YouTube, on SJP World Media, The Volley, myself and my strike partner, the magnificent Matt Lewis, doing football commentary. A bit difficult to get stuff sorted at the minute, but if you want to come and see, we're better than what's his face? I forget the Scottish lad. Fuck me, it doesn't matter. We'll just talk shit and eat a pie at half time.
Ali McCoist.
That's it. For some reason, I couldn't get Paul Gascoigne out, mate, because I was just thinking about Rangers.
Wow.
Yeah.
That Scottish Geordie guy, yeah.
Ali McCoist. He's not even Scottish, but yeah, fuck Ali McCoist.
Fuck him. But yeah, obviously, if you're not following Dan, please do so. Obviously, we love him. So yeah, show him lots of love and support. And as always, I'm just going to say thank you for watching. Hit like, subscribe, share, comment, all the generic stuff we ask you to do at the end of every episode. If you disagree with any of our predictions, let us know in the comments. I'm serious. I kind of want to see the comments dropping in under these episodes. I know people from True Grit watch them. Let us know what you think. It's just another way of interacting. I want to know what you guys think, what matches you're looking forward to, who your predictions are going to be. So yeah, drop us a comment, hit like, and yeah, as always, work the left side, and we'll see you again very soon.
Catch you soon.